On a day like today, it's understandable that someone with a snowmobile would want to head out onto the more than 13,000 miles of trails Maine has to offer.
And after the snow melts, the urge to hop onto an all-terrain vehicle is just as strong. Not all ATVs, though, are created equal. There are the vehicles that have been around for decades. They carry 1 or 2 people. Then there are the larger and heavier side-by-sides that can fit anywhere from 2 to 6 people. Well, last year, nearly 75,000 ATVs were registered with the state. But side-by-sides can be no more than a certain width and weigh under 2,000 pounds.
The legislature, though, is being asked to consider 2 bills that could allow larger machines on Maine's trail system. And as News Center Maine's Ryan Bell explains, the proposals are sparking debate even among ATV riders themselves.
It'll be a few months before most Mainers hit the ATV trails. But in Millinocket, Jeff Pelletier rides his side-by-side all through the winter.
I've got tracks on it for the winter, and it's registered as a snowmobile.
His machine rides on the line of what's legal under state law. And if you add a few passengers, he could easily be in violation.
Now you're going to be overweight. So what do? Tell 2 people to stay home?
That's why he supports new legislation to allow larger ATVs to be registered. State lawmakers are considering 2 competing bills that would change the way size is regulated. LD 19, proposed by State Senator Marianne Moore, seeks to increase the current weight limit for registered ATVs from 2,000 pounds to nearly 3,000.
There already is weight and width limits. Width is 65, and then the weight is 2,000. But that was 5 years ago. Equipment's come a long way.
Meanwhile, LD 276 would do away with weight limits altogether and create a classification system based on ATV width, allowing landowners to choose the limit on their property.
That red sign is the one that we don't want to see more of.
Both bills have received pushback from people who own and maintain the land, like the Coldstream Cruisers, an ATV club in West Enfield.
Big thing to think about with the weight is your bridges. Widen the trails for these machines, and also trying to keep them off during mud season.
Primarily, it boils down to landowners and volunteers.
Doug Dickinson, president of the Maine ATV Coalition, says without support from private landowners, 30% of trails or more could be closed.
If one of those 2 decide to step away from the table because it's easier, the whole system is going to fail,
leaving both sides anxious for a final vote.
The bigger and the heavier machines are actually out there to enjoy the recreation. If you ride them like they're supposed to, you're not going to have any issue with tearing up the terrain.
The landowners are feeling kind of like blamed for this. Like they are getting guilted into feeling like they should be allowing more weight on there just because people are buying the heavier machine.
In Millinocket, Ryan Bell, News Center, Maine.